Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Sharnael, Wolverton Seahorn, and we're going to talk today a little bit about growing or thriving harmonious business. And I'm going to give a few tips. We're here live with our Raindrop certification people. They've just gone through several hours already of chemistry and Vitaflex and lots of different things. And for those of you who have gone through the certification already, you're very familiar with that. And those of you who haven't, it's a great opportunity if you can get in. Wouldn't you guys all say that this has been like, yes, very, very thriving, awesome stuff. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how to apply all the things that we've been learning into helping us grow and or other things that can help your teams to grow and to multiply. That'd probably be a better word to use, is multiply. A few things I'm going to talk about have to do with materials and different things, and so I'm going to mention, especially for those of you who are not here, some different resources that would be really beneficial for you guys. And all of the things that I'm talking about are on my book table if you're here live, or you can go in swiftfire.org if you're not able to get them today. You can order them through the website later or for another meeting. So, but who's listened to the missing link? Anybody? These are only $5 on the table over here. But this is what brought me in and what helped me even understand the science and the nature of what oils are. If you haven't listened to this is a great way to get people connected. Now, if you order one of these or buy one of these, you can make copies and give them to anybody that you choose. This is something that you can copy. And I know people who have made 100 of these copies or make an MP3 or something and give it to their friends and family and just say, listen to this. And people get it. They understand. It's Gary Young teaching on the basics of why they work with your body, but he's such a great communicator and teacher that he does it on a level where anybody could understand. So if you got something like this and downloaded it on your computer, you can mass email it to whoever or text it to somebody, or put it, as long as it's not live on a Facebook or something like that, it has to be private. It can't be like public on your website or something. But this is really, really helpful, and I know people who have just used this as their tool to help people to get in. Again, we talked about this last night. This is only available through us. This is the one that's not compliant at all, and he goes into cancer and all that stuff. So this is a 2-part series, and this is not on the website because it's not compliant. But it's just Gary Young interview. It's a 2-hour interview. We talked about conscious language last night. Again, whatever you think about and focus on, you are. What you talk about, think about, whatever. So if you are constantly remembering and reminding that you already have a thriving, awesome business, and that's what your speech is about, that's what your dreams are about, that's your imagination, you give yourself permission to see it already happening, then this is going to be super helpful just in your speech and in your thoughts. And like this shirt, for example, this is super conscious language. When I did the rally a few weeks ago, we had people from all over Young Living, and we had a lot of different shirts. And you would be so surprised at how many people wouldn't buy this shirt because they're like, well, I'm not a Royal Crown Diamond yet. And when you say that, that's a decree. And so I did a map with someone. I had like 10 consultations last week, and I would say 8 of them out of 10, when we did the outcome mapping, their center goal was to be a silver. And I was like, it takes as much energy for you to believe in being a silver as it does a Royal Crown Diamond. So why would you not use the same energy to do something way bigger? And I had a guy who I outcome mapped, and he insisted on hitting executive. And he just would not do anything bigger than that. He couldn't even go there. And the more that we talked about it, the more I realized that there was fear in him being successful and anything above that. And in the past of whatever he had done, he had always been just right there in the middle. And so when we started talking and uncovering I was like, what is it? What is your association with wealth that it scares you? You know, and he had some beliefs because he knew some people who had money who weren't good people. And he didn't want to be that bad guy or those bad people. And so we had to clear that out and say, well, God is provision and he's not a bad guy, right? And God like funds the whole world, and he's not a bad guy. And what if he's calling you to be the good guy with the money who's doing great things? You know, and we had to kind of work through some new belief systems. And he had been hitting executive, and we actually mapped I am Royal Crown Diamond, and he hit silver, like within the next month. And so it was just like, and he was shocked. He was like, you're not even going to believe this. And I'm like, yes, I am going to believe this, you know? And so I had another lady last week who sang, she was like, wanting to be silver, and like, that's my goal. And I said, you know, same amount of energy to do silver as Royal Crown. Why would you? And she went into this whole thing. She was like, well, I think I'm scared to be successful. And when we had to walk through all that kind of stuff, and it was like, well, why? And her thing was because she said, I'm burned out, cancel. And I know that people who are successful are really tired and burned out and don't have any time for their family. And I said, only if you make it so. You know, there's a ton. Are you saying that no one on the planet who has money has time for their family? That's your belief system? If that's your belief system, then you will make it so. And you'll have mixed signals and mixed energy going, I like this, but I don't. I like this, but I don't. I like this, but I don't. And you have mixed signals that go out, and then your energy and all of the universe goes, well, that's where she wants to stay because she's scared. And so we have to, you know, dogs smell it, animals pick it up. Any of you have a dog? And any of you ever had a dog where someone came around and they knew that this is a bad guy or a bad person? And all of you guys have that same thing inside of you where you've been in front of people and you're like, something's off. You know, they're saying the right thing, but there's something off. And it's called mixed signals. You're getting two different things. Maybe the mouth and the body language is saying one thing, but something else is saying the right, and they're not aligned, you know? And so, and now on the other hand, have you ever spoke with someone who is just like authentic and true, and you felt secure and safe in them, and you're like, I just believe, I don't know why, but I'm going with this person because I just resonate with them. I just feel it. You know, you literally can feel truth and love, and if someone cares about you and all those things. So this is really good in helping with that. Of course, like we talked about last night, the Game of Life, which is like $6 on the website and like $6 over here, and Activation Imagination, which is also over here, and I want to say it's like less than $10. I mean, the best $10 you'll ever spend. I'm telling you, like, skip coffee for a couple days and get those books. Jim Rohn, have any of you guys listened to this Jim Rohn book called, is this backwards? Huh, I just noticed. This is actually backwards. Sorry guys, I want to switch this around. I want you to be able to see, no. There we go. Forward. Building your business. This is $5, and again, some of the best $5 you'll ever spend. Really, really helpful, and just having a broader, bigger sense of what you can do and how to do it. Some other ones: GoPro by Eric War, Making the First Circle Work. These are real basic, very inexpensive books to help. ABCs. This goes into the comp plan and different things having to do with scripture. This goes into the comp plan too. And I don't know if either of you guys have ever read this book. This was pivotal in my understanding of like who God is and what he wants to do in business and how he's ready to like take dominion over the planet. We're given the inheritance of Abraham, and yet it's almost cool to be poor in some circles, and it's just not. That's not who God is. So this is Donald Trump actually and him are real good friends, and I don't know if that's a positive to you or a negative, but to me, Donald Trump, no matter what you say about him, he's definitely a very successful businessman. He's done a lot of really good things. And so Now, on another note, some ways to grow your business with just being who you are is swag. Anything that has Young Living on it, whether it's a hat or a t-shirt or whatever, water bottle, you would be so shocked and surprised how many people will come up to you and hunt you down just because you have something on here. Because especially now, Young Living is so big, people don't even ask, like, what is that? They actually know what it is. Oh, you're a distributor, or you a member, or you use oils, and they're either going to say, I use oils too, or they're going to say, hey, I've been wanting to get some oils, can I get some from you? And you would be so surprised how many people just go buy oils online or through a friend and just get a bottle here or there and don't actually become members, not just because they don't want to be a member, because no one's told them. And so I see things like Coyote Moon and some other places that are selling the bottles now, and even some pharmacies that have become members and they're selling them, health food stores, chiropractors, all of those. And my friend Jackie, who was here the other night, the pastor from the Methodist Church, she took a picture of this store that was selling it, and she sent it to me, and she was like, I thought we didn't do retail. I thought we weren't allowed to do this. Is this illegal? And I was like, no, it's completely legal. Stores can be members and they can sell it. You could do this at wellness centers, chiropractors, veterinarians, bookstores, health food stores, massage therapists. You guys could put displays out and you guys can sell kits or sell retail. I'm going to tell you why I would never do retail, but you actually can. And Jackie said, well, how come you always say not to do retail? And I said, because what happens is if you sell retail in your store or in your wherever place of existence and they get one bottle, what's stopping them from looking on the bottle and Googling and going straight to Young Living now and ordering from themselves or getting a membership from themselves? I said, if you don't give them a membership, they're not locked into you, and you've just given them candy like a drug dealer, and now they want it, and they're not going to remember you. They're going to go home and they're going to find out that their sister, their brother, their whoever next door, there's someone with their church, whatever, is doing it too, and those people are going to jump on and get them in as a member, and you just introduce them to go to some other team. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's so weird that you're saying that, because I bought 3 different oils from 3 different people before I ever became a member, and the only reason why I became a member is because Sonia, this friend at a wedding, had saw me with my thieves, and she had said, oh, are you a member? And she was like, a member of what? And she said, of Young Living. And she was like, I don't even know what that means. And no one had even told her about the membership. Why? I don't know. Maybe they were afraid. Maybe they were like, oh, if your mindset is people are not going to get the kit from you, I'm just going to sell them an oil, then that's exactly what you'll get, because you're going to get a lot of people and you're going to attract a lot of people of whatever you're thinking. If you're thinking automatically, people who come to me are already ready to be members, they're fully funded, they're already open, they're already knowing that this is good for them and their health, then you'll start seeing that magnetized to you. It's just everybody coming to you already ready, already prepared, ready to sign the papers and get their kit and their diffuser and all that. So it's your mindset, but it's also being disciplined to actually have the confidence to ask for the sale and say, I don't personally sell oils, I sell memberships, I offer memberships. And so even if they're just getting the basic $45 kit, like, you want them in and signed up with you. You want them locked in to where they cannot go to Young Living and just be an orphan and buy from them and be placed with somebody. You want them locked in with you, because they will go home and find out that their neighbor's doing it. And sometimes they're like, oh man, I just found out my neighbor has been living next door to me for 15 years and she's never once told me how to be a member, or that she was even doing the oils, and now I came home and she was like, oh, you have Young Living? I wish you were on my team. And it's like, well, guess what? They didn't ask. So you'll be now, back when I started, nobody was doing Young Living. Like, that wasn't a thing. So I have the options to, play around a little bit and kind of like stick it out there and be members and like get my people in. But now everywhere on Facebook, everywhere on Twitter, it's all over. And so your responsibility is to get them in to be a member, and then you have to sell yourself more than anything else, because there are so many other people out there doing it. You want to explain to them what's different about you and what your team is going to promote and or provide for them that other teams will not? And I'll tell you that what we're doing as a team doesn't exist on any other teams. We've always made it where we wanted to give the best training and the best support possible. And there's a whole list of things that we offer. Are you headed out? Aww. Hi, puppy. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Good luck with wherever you're journey.
You want to come say hi in the camera real quick?
Oh, okay.
This is Dr. Stewart's daughter and her puppy. She's been teaching and now she's headed out. So everyone want to say hi real quick? Hello.
Say hi, Molly. Look at the camera. Look. She's like, I don't care.
She's headed out. Y'all vote victory for her secure journey all the way home.
Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
All right, love you.
Yeah, love you too. Yeah,
All right.
you too. See you guys later.
So I can provide for you that list. I can tell you what I offer, but then we have things that we offer as a team too that set us apart from everyone in Young Living. And you have to differentiate and say, these are the things that we offer. And you have to also say, and by the way, Young Living will not offer you this. Other teams will not offer you this. Because they're going to think that this is what you're offering and that everyone's offering that. And then they're going to join with their friend and they're going to be like, oh, I got in and they don't do this stuff and stuff. How do I get your stuff? Go ahead and send me the password for all the audios and whatever. And you're like, yeah, you should have went with me. And maybe I wasn't clear. And what some of the things that I offer is I offer a free consultation and a free coach for 1 year. And what does that mean? Like, I personally charge for consultations, and you guys can charge for consultations too. What your price is set out is up to you. When I started out, I wasn't an ND, and I was charging $30 to $40 for 30 minutes. You can pick whatever. You could do an hour, you could do 30 minutes. You know, you guys follow your heart and see what you charge. The more credentials that I got, the higher that my price went. And I could get pickier with who I chose to actually spend my time with and like do consultations on. Or you may say, if you join, you get a free Zyto, which we'll talk about in a minute, or whatever. So I do a free initial consultation, a free coach, and I say I provide coaching for a solid year. And I tell them that because, and I even put my normal value for a coaching consultation is $177 for 30 minutes. So if you get the kit, that's $160. You not only get a free consultation and free practitioner appointments for a whole year for you and your family, but you're also getting the diffuser, and you're getting all these oils, and you're getting 125 audio teachings. Which have any of you guys listened to the audio teachings that we have? Okay. When you are a member, you get 125 free audio classes from me that I personally made that you get a password to be able to get into that, to be able to listen to those. And they go everything from hormones to weight loss to detoxing your house, your home, mold, raindrop, business stuff. I mean, there's just a whole group of stuff that we did this free online on conference calls until compliance came in and said we can't do this anymore. And I had like 100 and something classes that I had provided for my team and the world at that point, and now we weren't allowed to use that anymore. And I was like, well, let's do this where we're going to have a membership, just like these guys have a membership here where they sign. We have a membership, and if you're with our membership, then you do get the passwords to listen to the non-compliant classes. And so that's a huge benefit. That's 125 topics of things that you don't even have to talk to about over and over with your team. If there's one on hormones or weight loss and someone comes to you and goes, hey, Chelsea, what do we do for weight? You know what? There's an audio for that. Let me give you the password, or I've already given you the password. Did you check in the audio section? Because there's a thing on that. Just click it and go ahead and listen to it. We also provide a Facebook group. We have a group of over 6,000, almost 7,000 people. And I say that, it's a community of really fun, healthy, high vibe people who are all learning together. And this is a great place to learn and to get lots of files and education. which include right now over 60 short videos on different classes and different topics. You know, that's something that we provide that some maybe other people don't. And so again, if I offer Jessica a car for $3,000 and I'm like, and she's like, oh, what a pretty car. What kind of car is it? It's a blue car. Oh, okay, and it's $3,000? Yes. What year is it? 1987. Okay, it's a 1987 blue car for $3,000. Awesome. And then she goes next door and someone's like, it's a blue car, it's $87, it's gold-plated seats, there is like, you know, $110,000 in the back seat, you know, whatever. She's like, well, that would have made it a lot more easier for her to go ahead and spend the $10,000 if she would have known all that. But if you're not really explaining what people are getting, when they look at that 160 and they're like, oh, that sounds like a lot. When you start telling them, no, you get $20,000 of education and a group community, and you're going to get free appointments for a whole year, that adds up to a lot more than $160. And that's what you're offering that, you know, they're not going to get when they go straight to Young Living or their neighbor next door who has zero. We have a set up, organized system that's already in place for you guys to offer that as a really, I mean, I think that's a huge bonus in selling points. You know, you may offer a free raindrop. You know, I was telling Chelsea a few days ago, I had a lady who hit silver. She was, she already had an established practice as a as a massage therapist, and she just started saying like, hey, she did like a bulletin board or something, and she had a raindrop kit out, and she was like, every single person who comes in and gets a $45 membership to order this kit as a raindrop, you know, your raindrop is free. And so she had people who just came in and bought the raindrop kit, got the $45 membership, and she did a free raindrop on them. And she signed up enough people to make silver in a couple months. And, you know, and she had now, you know, however many people who are in her downline that didn't just have oils for when they came back to get reoccurring raindrops, because now they have their oils, they're going to want to use the oils. But you can now introduce them cleaning supplies for their house and makeup that is like good for you, and deodorant and supplements that are 86% more absorption capacity, and you know, whatever else. You know, we have so many different things. You know, raindrop can just be the doorway to get somebody in. So, and if they get their kit, you guys, for me, I will give a discount to anyone who brings their own oils in for a raindrop, because let's say whatever your average massage is, like how much do you guys pay? Have you ever had a massage? Anybody? About $60, okay? You want to average in that the oils themselves are going to be about $30. So you can tell them, I will give you a raindrop for $90, or if you would like to get your own kit, you can get your own kit, and you can bring your oils every time, and it'll drop it down to $60. And there's enough in that raindrop kit for probably around 7 to 10 raindrops if you are not just pouring it all on. You know, I've gotten even further than that whenever I was like biblically going, I choose to have more oils in these bottles, you know, and we manifested more raindrops. So, but yes, there's a lot of different ways that you can go about that, but preferably go wherever you live, because I know California massage something will be a lot different than maybe Louisiana. But call around a few places and say, hey, how much does it cost for an hour massage? And then add $30 to whatever that is, and that will be the price. Now, you may not do that from the get-go. You may say, you know, normally it's this amount, but since I'm just starting and blah, 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 I'm going to cut it down to this amount. You know, you may have a sale or an intro because you're new, especially if you're not already an established licensed massage therapist and you're just doing this for like neighbors and friends to try to get referrals. You know, you may do a referral program where it's like, hey, I'll do this free for you, but can you refer me to blah, blah, blah. I mean, you guys could get super creative on however you choose to do this, but again, I would not sell retail ever, because again, as soon as somebody gets a bottle, there's never a guarantee someone's going to come back to you, no matter what happens. And even if you get them at a minimum $45 kit, which they don't get any oils for, they can order either the Healing Wells of the Bible kit or the premium kit, or they can get, just a la carte, whatever they choose, or the raindrop kit, and then you're good to go. And they're like in with you. There's no way out. They're totally in. So does that make sense? Okay. But again, swag. Again, did you guys see this? You'll be so surprised when you go out and you have this shirt on or something else, and people are like, oh, what is a diamond or whatever, and they're asking questions, or what is Young Living, or oh, you're with Young Living, my sister does Young Living, or whatever. And you get the opportunity then to explain, yeah, actually, I'm not only in Young Living, but I'm Raindrop certified, and if you ever need somebody who needs a raindrop or whatever, here's my card, blah blah blah, can I get your name, I'll get you on my newsletter. There's a lot of different ways to do that. I always have cards, and every time I give a card, I get their information too, because if you can get their information, you can plug them into your database, you can follow up with them. They may not remember to call you, they may have lost that card in 5 minutes, and even though they're even thinking about, oh, I wish I would have blah blah blah, if they've lost the card or if they've just put you out of, whatever, then, but you're going to remember, because this is your business and this is what you're doing. So, what else? Okay, Zydo and Itobi. For any of you who wish to do one, I will go ahead and do one for you guys while we're here. It's $15. I normally charge $97, and I know there's higher ones. You have like a more thorough. You have the select or the balance? Select. There's different stages of what you can get. I have the very, very basic. I always have. Everyone knows how Zydo works. Zydo, basically, you put your hand on it, and just like the lie detector test, it not only reads your galvanic, but it reads your biofield. So when you're doing your test, you don't want to have anybody in your space, because it will pick up if your cat comes and sits on your lap. I've had it happen where my cat had respiratory problems, and I was totally fine, and I got on my thing, and it started saying, you need all these oils, and it was everything my cat needed. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So, and it will pick up emotional stuff too. So I choose to remember who I was talking to the other day about how very accurate it is. But I had a shoulder, I think it was Jessica, I had like a shoulder thing going on, and so I wanted to know what to do to balance out. It won't, the basic one will not tell you your shoulder's got issues. It's not going to tell you that direct. It's going to tell you what to do to balance out. And some people are like, oh, well, I wanted to tell me what's going on, like for real, like just to tell me. And it's like, well, if you had the chance to know how to fix it or to know what's wrong, which would you choose? I'd like to know how to fix it. A lot of times you go to the doctor and they're like, it might be this or it could be that, or let's just try this, but they're not telling you this is exactly what's wrong. This will tell you this is how to fix it. If you're looking for the answers, this will tell you how to fix it. Now, Itobi and Zydo, what the difference is, Itobi, okay, if I Zydo Jessica today and she came up with this stuff is going on to balance her, and then a month from now we came back, it's going to average what her first one was to where she is. It's not going to tell her exactly where she is, but it's going to average where she was a month ago to now. I personally don't like the average. If if I want to know where I am today, like without any kind of handicapped, that's a bad word to use, but I want to know where I am today and what I need to do today, not what I needed to do based on an average of 5 other Zydos that combined me over the year. Because I could have been really, really sick like at the beginning of the year and really healthy right now, and I choose to know where I am exactly right now. The other thing is Itobi. Although Itobi is small, and you can put it in your purse, and it's like handy, literally. That you just put it, you squeeze it, and it tells you what's going on. I think you can text it to somebody. You can text the report. This one you only email, and it is a little bit bigger. It's a hand thing that you can hook up to any PC. You cannot do Mac on the Zydo. I don't know about the Itobi. No, so. And the Zydo will tell you everything that you need. Itobi will only do 5 or 10. You can pick the top 5, the top 10, whatever. I personally want the entire recipe. And so the Zyto will tell you 76 things that it'll test 76 biomarkers in your body, and it'll tell you what ones are out of range. And when you know what's out of range, then you can know what's required to get those things back in range. And some things, like if you get like a 32, which is kind of average for most people, between a 25 and 32, because life happens and you have stuff going on, whether it's emotional or not. You may have 15 oils or supplements or whatever that will bring you back to that balance. You do that for a good 21 days to a month and follow what they say to do, and then you'll test again and you'll get where you are now. Again, a Toby's going to average. So I personally prefer this, and that's just my 2 cents, whatever you guys choose or whatever. But now you can charge for this too, and you can give it a free thing for everyone who's a member, or you could say, if you sign up with me and get the kit today, I'll do, once your kit comes in, I will give you a free Zyto, after your kit comes in, which I think is the best way to go, because if you Zyto someone, they're going to want what's on the Zyto, the first kit. But if you have them already a member and say, hey, get your member today and I will give you a free Zyto in 30 days or 21 days, or a free raindrop in 21 days or whatever, then they're going to get the kit first, and they'll have the basic first aid of all the stuff you really, really need, and they're going to come back for a raindrop, and then they're going to be interested in more stuff with the raindrop and more stuff with the Zyto or whatever. I know Joyce she has a practice, so she's like, well, what all can I, she's talking about add-ons, like whether it's a Romadome or a Zyto or a raindrop, there's different things that you can all have to help kind of like have a lot of different services offered. And, whatever you could do is great. I mean, all of it's really, really good. So going back to the emotional stuff, with the Zyto, it's going to tell you what is the most pertinent, or what's the loudest thing that's going on with you first, and as you deal with those things, then it'll start dealing with more core issues. So when I came in with a shoulder situation that day, I was sitting there testing. I had like 3 or 4 people who were in my office that morning. The phone started ringing, and I was like on my Zyto, and I didn't want to stop what I was doing, so I was like, someone get the phone, someone get the phone, someone get the phone, someone get the phone. I was on this thing, I didn't want to interrupt what it was doing. And then I realized, oh, everybody left for lunch. I'm here by myself. And here I was like screaming at everybody, get the phone, So I finally was like, I guess I'm getting the phone. And I pick up the phone, I'm still in the thing. The guy's going through all these questions, and he's like saying, there was a bill that wasn't paid or whatever. And I was like, we're on automatic payment. And they were like, oh, it shows on the 18th. Someone called in and removed the automatic payment. And I was just like, nobody did that, because I'm the only person who's authorized, and I wouldn't have done that. And then the guy was like, oh, wait, you know what? I think I might have the wrong number. And I was like, are you serious? And I was like, not mean, but I wasn't like happy. And we got off the phone, and I looked at my score or whatever, and it was like 30 something points for humility oil. And I was like, really? Because I came in here for a shoulder thing, and so I actually called the guy back, and I was like, hey, if I was like a little short with you, apologies, whatever. The joke was like, in scripture it talks about don't go to the altar until you have your stuff straight with your brothers and sisters, I was like, don't go to the Zyto until you have your stuff straight with your brothers and sisters, because it will tell on you. And so I did. I called the guy, I apologized, and he was like, no problem, sorry I wasted your time. And I was just like, it's all good, it was a lesson. And I Zytoed right after, and sure enough, it was like copaiba, peppermint, aroma seeds, all the things, that I know was going on and would help me balance. Now, if you have a Zyto or an Itobi, or you're doing raindrop, you can muscle test as well, and you can see what oils people choose to have, in their massage or raindrop. I know people who are certified with raindrop, but they will do a massage, and then they will like muscle test in or Itobi and say, hey, I'm not going to do a raindrop today if you don't want to do a raindrop, but we can add in the oils to your massage of what you choose or what your body requires. And during the raindrop too, there is a portion where that you add on what you choose. So you could do a raindrop and then say, she really needs these 2 other oils or these 3 other oils too, and you could add those 2 or 3 on there, and that's their like, specifications for what's going on with them in their body. So whether you're muscle testing or raindropping or Zytoing or whatever you're doing, you You don't have to do it by the book. You do it but based on what the person needs and what you feel and what you guys choose together. And so those could be different add-ons, you know, where there's like a massage, and then if you want to add the oils and it's now aromatherapy massage, then you could do that too. So I hope that's helping. You guys have any questions? You guys know everything? Let me see if there's anything else on my notes here. Oh, massage table. Does everybody own a massage table? eBay is a great place to get a pretty decent massage table. You want to get like a memory foam kind. It's more comfortable. You can get like the covers for the end, so you could swap them out with each person. The covers for the actual table, they're really cute ones. You know, eBay's great. That's like probably the cheapest place that I know where you can kind of get a deal. Anything else? You guys ready to go? Okay. Well, I hope that was helpful for y'all. If you have any more questions, then definitely let me know. And y'all go eat. Y'all go eat. All right. Yes. Bye, guys.
We need a selfie.